Everybody, this is Michele Cahill with PetportraitFun, and we are going to be doing another version of Paint Your Pet at Home. And you're going to join me for painting this cute puppy. Basically, what I did with this customer, I drew out, they sent me the photograph of their pet, and then I drew him out and traced him with carbon copy onto this watercolor paper. So what we're going to do is I take my watercolors. I just took a little bit of paper towel, dip it in the water, just squeezed a few drops in each one of my paint, and we're going to go ahead and start. I always say start with the lightest thing. So there's lots of white on his paws and his nose and above his eyes. That's the parts that we want to leave like the paper. So the next thing that I want to do is the lightest color. So I need this tan area. I'm going to fill all that tan area first. There's tan over here and a tan on the top of his head. Fill that all in. And then after that, when that dries, I'm going to do the darker browns and stuff. So I have Birdie Man Jack on my lamp here. He's doing my light fixture, so if the lighting is not good, it's his fault. And he might be joining. I'm not sure. So anyway, okay, so I'm just mixing a little bit of yellow to get the tan and a little bit of the orange, tiny bit of the brown, and I'm making a little puddle right here. I'm just going to fill in this area around all here, his face here. So I hope everybody's enjoying. Happy Friday, enjoying this nice weather so far. We have a good day out here. I'm in New York, and it's nice, but there's going to be some rain coming in on this weekend, so we're gotta enjoy the good weather while we have it, right? So, but anyway, that's why you don't really need good weather for painting, unless you're painting outside. I held paint parties in the city here, and we have them at outdoor pet-friendly venues, and there was a big gust of wind that came in the other day and flipped everybody's paints and portraits up. We were able to tape them down to the table, so we didn't have them flying away anymore. But that's the hazards of painting outside. When you're inside, you're all set. You don't have to worry about big gusts of wind or rain coming and washing you all away. See, he's pretty light up on top of his eyes, so I'm gonna get that wet paper towel. So I'm just gonna fill it all in. So it's the same color. So I'm just connecting eye. I leave that part of the eye. Your wet paper towel, I'm gonna dab that. So almost like removing the color a little bit, just a little bit. Wet paper towel is your friend. You can kind of like use it almost as like another paintbrush. See how I just took that color out from the top of his eye. So now I'm gonna do the same thing with this color. Connect that same on the other side. Again, it's pretty light on the top of his eyes. He almost got these like little old man eyebrows, even though he's a little puppy. I thought this picture was so cute, because the face is so big, and I love the color. One of my favorite parts of watercolor is just having fun, especially when you get this Crayola palette. You can really have a lot of fun with the colors, especially in the background. And you can even paint your animal in Technicolor, whatever you want. I've had customers do that too. That's fun. You know, it's your painting. You can do whatever you want with it. So it gets kind of red back here. So I'm actually gonna add some red into it. Not too much. I went a little far there, and I keep it a little bit brown. Dull it down. See, I'm a little bit red here. Let's see how that goes. It's a little on the pink side. Adding a little more brown, and just kind of filling out this a little orangey area over here on the top of his head. Connect all this stuff. All right. So my bird has left. This is, I guess I was boring him. He flew away. He's off on the side over there. He was very proud of his tail feathers just coming in, and apparently he doesn't know how to use his tail, so one of his feathers was missing this morning. I don't know. I must have got. I don't know what he did to it. So now he's down. He had 3, and now he's down to 2. Okay, so keep those 2. Take it easy. I don't know how he gives. Yeah, I'm talking about you. So anyway, so this little, I don't know if you can hear him right in the background there. So I'm just going back in all this. There's a little bit of brown over here. If it's a little too dark, I just keep adding water to your brush. And that can kind of like bleeds out the color a little bit. And he's got a little bit of brown over here. And drag that around there. Yeah, he's cute. These big eyes. Okay. So, yeah, just filling out the top of all that brown on the top. It's just a mixture. You notice that I'm kind of mixing some browns with some orange, some reds. Just kind of play with the colors until you get it right. I'm blending it a little bit here. Actually, I'm going to just wet this down and then go on top of it and let it dry because I want to just build up. So we're building up all the lighter colors first. I'm just going to fill that in so it's nice. So, and I definitely want to lighten up above his eye. So I'm just taking my brush and just wetting it. See how I keep rubbing the extra paint off? I'm almost kind of like using my brush as an eraser right now. Just taking this. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well, staying healthy. These last few days of summer, you gotta enjoy them. Enjoy the days before the winter comes in and we're all stuck inside again. So, I'm not a big fan of the snow. Some people, they love the snow. I don't mind fall though. I like, part of living in New York is you get to experience all the seasons, and it's extreme. It goes from the hot 100-something degrees to below zero blizzard. Like it really, you get the full variety. It's kind of like the people of New York. You get a little bit of everything. You get a taste of all the types of weather living in New York City. Okay, I'm just filling that in just a little bit over here, leaving a little bit on the side. Let me fill that here in. And if it drips, just get your paper towel and just dab it. Your wet paper towel will take care of that drip. See, I'm just filling it in with that color because I just want to get rid of the white. I'm only going to leave the areas that the paper where, and I don't use, there's white in the palette, but I don't use that. I basically just keep the paper plain. So, let's see here. And these little paws. Just kind of like doing a little bit of the tan. That same color, I just added a little bit of water. And then I remove a little bit of it. Go back to the paper. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. See how it blends it in nice? The wet paper towel does a good job. Okay, now let's go into, I'm going to start into the brown, the brown in his ears and everything. I'm just taking brown and I'm mixing it over here, so I don't want to mix it into the color I had before because I might want to use that. So just straight up brown. Tiny little bit of black because it does get kind of dark in there. But I add artist grade black into the Crayola palette because the pigment isn't that strong in the black, and especially if you're doing black fur, you need a little bit more pigment. So I always tell people in my paint your pet parties, go easy on the black because it's pretty. I squeeze in the extra good stuff in there. The good stuff. That's a good color. Just fill that whole area in under the ear. So what's good about when you do the tracing of the drawing, you kind of, it's like muscle memory because you basically are tracing what you're going to paint later. So it gives you like a little bit of a head start so you know where you're going because your hand already traced it. So you know where the lines are. And it's a nice little, like you say, it's like bumper bowling. You can't mess up because you're just tracing it. So everyone goes, oh my God, I can't draw a straight line. I don't know how to I don't know, I haven't painted since I was in 7th grade. It's all right. Watercolor is very forgiving. I always say that. It's one of the most forgiving mediums. Because if you make a mistake, just a little bit of water removes it. And go back to the paper again. So my brush is a little bit on the drier side. And when I say drier, it's like it's not going to drip. If it's wet, you just kind of wipe it on your wet paper towel. But it's got a good consistency right now. So, and go back on here. I'm just following the lines that I drew in the shading from the photograph, and it's pretty dark in there. So I'm gonna go back over in another layer after. But it's good to do things, I think, in 3 layers, like a light, a medium, and dark. That way you get a good contrast. So it's pretty dark in here, and right behind his ears, and that'll be a good color to go into the dark of his nose and his eyes in a minute. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of shadowing, and this ear, there's a little pink in there, pink inside the ear, so I'm gonna make sure I leave that. And follow the lines. And his whole ear is pretty dark, so I'm gonna fill that whole thing in. Okay. Yep, all the way in. Alrighty. So, this little puppy. It's funny. Sometimes when you take a picture of the dog, it's like he's like a head with 2 feet and no body. But is he cute? So we also do cats. So don't get upset if you're like, well, what? I don't have a dog. And if you don't have a dog or a cat, I've even done goldfish in some of my painted pet parties. So they whatever. One girl painted a cardinal. It's like, that's fine. I like that. So, okay, I'm going to take that same brown and go into the kind of around his eyes is a little bit dark right here. Goes across. So this goes straight down. Keep looking at your photograph for reference. And you can always still keep checking the drawing because that I did for you. And you can order your own Pet Portrait Fun kit where I draw it for you and send you all the art supplies that you need with a nice frame for it at the end. Or you can, if you have your own art supplies, you can order the drawing. I can mail it to you and then join you through Zoom, and you can, I'll get step-by-step instructions from me personally on how to paint your pet portrait and look like a pro. So, all right, I'm going into just that kind of that brown area. I think he's like a little hound. I think he's like a little hound dog. I don't know. I think he's a mutt. The mutts are the best. Cute little face. I was just watching today on all these dogs were rescued from Puerto Rico and brought in. They finally got through the quarantine, and now they're all being adopted out in New York City. There's so many doggies on the streets in Puerto Rico that they need homes. And there's a big need for dogs right now in society. Dogs are saving the humanity, saving people's mental health. That's for sure. I know that I always feel good after I pet a dog. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and go into his eyes a little bit more. So I'm just kind of continuing on with that brown and going in on his. Add a little black and brown, not too dark just yet. And because you want to build up a little bit, you want to like leave it. You don't want to make it full on dark. And I'm gonna take that same color and fill in his eyes. But I always leave a little bit in the eyes, a little square for the white. there's a little bit of shine, like, from the camera. It always gives that nice pop. So I'm going a little more brown in it. So what I do is paint the whole iris with the pupil, let it dry, and then go on top and do the black for the pupil. Yeah, it's pretty dark. See, I'll leave that little piece of white there. Fill it all in. Okay. Fill that all into. Leave that little piece of white. See, it's not fully black, dark black. I just mixed a little bit of brown with the black. Fill that eye in. He's getting in there. All right, and then his little mouth, his little lip. It's so cute. His little lip. So let me finish his ear here because I left it a little bit. So a little light up there. It's darker in here. But he's got that little pop of pink underneath. And a little bit darker under the eyes, under the ears. I always like to make sure you put the shadow under the inside the ear so it really shows the around the head. Gives some depth. He's got some black on the side of him here. I'll let the nose dry. So now what we can do is go into his. We can go a little bit. Actually, it's a little bit more dark around his eye. I want to finish doing this spot right here because it goes down. Okay, he's got this little teardrop. And want to smear that out of there so it doesn't pop so much. Do it on this side too. Okay, so he's got this real fun, colorful blanket, which I love. So I'm going to kind of imitate that. Got the lime green right here. Put it in my, make a little puddle of it. Mix your colors. And you guys could use the lid of your palette or a white plate. It's just so you can see what color you're working with before you actually put it on the paper. So let me build it up because it's there's a lot of it there. I might be having a visitor. He is watching my little Jack, the cockatiel. He's watching me from behind. He's behind the scenes producer. Okay, so I'm just gonna. So I'm filling it all with that green. Again, like we'll start with the lighter colors, the yellows and greens in watercolor, and then you go on top of it, the light, darker, the blues and purples and all that. They come after. There's a nice little paws. And up here. In there. Go to the edge. I put tape along the side, so at the end when you peel it back, it's a nice clean white edge. Always looks like, oh, it's like the unveiling. Just going to fill that in. And some of this blue. And he's got like a navy under his lip. I'll fill that blue in a little bit more. Go right around his paw. We'll go into his paw in a minute. I think there's little bits of pinks and shadows in there, but right now I have the blue on, so I'm just going to go around. Notice I'm just leaving the white paper where it's white. Just leave it just like the paper. We'll go in and we'll do some shadowing, but it's all about painting the negative space. So this is a little bit of cyan blue. This comes with a few different blues. I like mixing them up because the more colors that you mix together, the more fun The more depth it gives you. All right, around this. He's going around his little paw. All right. Okay, so, and then I want to do navy for his background. The navy is like the blue colors look great when you're dealing with warm colored dogs. Greens or blues, they really make the dog pop. So, see, I even left a little bit of the blue from down there on it. So I'm just going to go up here, right up along. His ear is dry now, so I could go right up to the edge of it. So I would say wait for your doggy to dry before you go up to the edge, because you don't want the watercolor to bleed the colors to go in there. And if that happens, like I said, I would say, you know what, your paper towel is your friend, mixing, because I like that mixture of the navy. Start over here. Big puppy ears. And right up here. Navy. I write on the palette NV for navy, black BK, and brown BR, because sometimes it's hard when you're going fast, or if you're inside and it's you know, sometimes we do it inside restaurants. You can't really see the colors that well, the difference in the browns and the blacks and the blues, because the dark ones. So I give it a little cheat sheet. I tell people there's the NV is the navy, and the BK is the black. All right, Dougie. And going to take that same thing, go around all this whole spaces are all around him. Going right up to the edge. See how it's dripping right there? Just boop. Mayday, mayday. That's okay. I got you, puppy. I got you. Ha ha ha. Puppy rescue. Puppy ear rescue. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do some volunteer work up at the animal shelter, the Animal Care and Control, up here in Manhattan, and it was such a great feeling when the dogs, especially when it wasn't a puppy, the older dogs, it was always really like, you know, it tugged on my heart, because, you know, you feel bad. They knew what it was like to have a home, for whatever reason why people had to rehome them. Oh yes, my birdie is. But it's nothing beats the feeling when they actually get into their forever home. That's the best. See, I'm just smearing that there. I'm gonna let that. See, it dripped into here too. That's all right. That's when you're doing your watercolor. Do it on a table. Don't do it upright like this, because then you don't have to fight with gravity like what I'm doing right now. But that's okay. It'd be like a little psychedelic. Fill up all this section here. Go right up to the edge here, right up to his paw. And same on the other side. Okay. Right into his ear, up to his face. See how it, like, that blue looks so nice against the his yellow brownish fur. Really pops. And just plain water. You can just spread that, what you did already. Just stretch it out. Stretch the color pigments out. And the whiskers, I know they're white whiskers. I just tell people, just leave them like the pencil, because it's, I mean, you can go on top with a white pencil if you want, or a piece of chalk. You want to do the whiskers, but you get the point. You don't have to really beat up the painting with trying to get it exactly like the photograph. It's supposed to be fun. It's very relaxing. Painting is very relaxing. So I'm going to go back up into his little drippy ears. Oh, my birdie is talking over there. What does he have to say? What is going on, birdie? So I'm cleaning up. So make sure if you go from blue back then into the tan, really clean off your brush because otherwise you're going to start to make your dog green. You don't want to do that. So I really cleaned it up, and I'm going to do a little bit of the brown in there. I know, Birdie. What do you think? He's very upset that the ears were dripping. It's okay. I was sick. Birdie, it's okay. No worries. That's what the paper towel's for. That's what paper towel's for, Birdie. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And sometimes you just let your painting dry for a little bit, and then you can go on top of it. It's, don't overwork the paper because then the watercolor paper has a little bit of cotton in it. That's why this is 140 pound. It's just the basic one that you get at Staples in a pad. It absorbs the water, but you don't want to overdo it with too much water because it's paper. It's not a sponge, so you have to let it dry. Let the paper dry for a little bit, and then go back on top of it. If you made a mistake that is, don't overwork it. Just give it a break, and then go paint some other part of the background or something. Go get a glass of wine or something, whatever, a cup of coffee, whatever you like. All right. I know, little birdie man. Okay. So now I'm just going to go into the nostrils. This is the part where I say that the black is kind of gooey at this point. My brush is pretty dry, and I just kind of get like the tip of the brush in there. And I'm going to go in the nostrils. And the nostrils are like two curls. So just kind of go in there and pull the curl to the side. And then same thing over here. Oh, he likes this. He's very excited about this. Birdie Man Jack is very excited. I know. Okay, and now I'm going into the pupils. See, I did the lighter, now the same, that thick black. And just make sure you leave that little shine of white. That's the pop. Really pops it. Kind of go underneath. Remember, dogs' eyes are round, not oval. So you really keep that, like think of marbles. You want them really round, not like humans when you're drawing them. So when I go to do his, I say doggy mascara, remember it's really round, like a rainbow, like up and down. So I'm going to do his doggy mascara. Just kind of just pulls the pupil together. Just tie that in like that. Same on the other side. Oh, he's very excited, Birdie Man. What do you have to say today? He's lots to say. He's wondering where his tail feather went. I was wondering if I should tape it back on, but I don't think that will work. I just have to let it grow back naturally. And there we go. I know. Okay. And just a little bit underneath, kind of connect them a little bit. There. There's a little buddy. So, like I said, I'm gonna leave that ear and let it dry and go back in and do some detailing with little buddy here. And if you want to join me in painting your pet, go to PetportraitFun.com and just send me a photograph of your pet. I'll draw it up for you, and we can either you get the whole kit sent to you, or if you want to use your own art supplies, that's fine too. And I'll send you the supply list, and we can get a little pet portrait fun going for you and your families, and you can do it with a bunch of friends as well. All right, thanks so much for everybody for watching, and I'll share the final painting when I finish it later. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.